Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be talking about the WeCreat Vista versus the WeCreat Vision. We're going to be talking about both the 20 watt and the 40 watt model as you see here. We're going to be talking about the differences, what I recommend based on what you're going to be engraving or making. I get asked that question pretty often, which machine is better, which one should I get based on what I'm doing? And I'm going to answer that in the form of a video instead of constantly typing this all out to reply to you guys. So hopefully you find this video beneficial. First up, it's going to come down to what you're going to be doing, whether you're going to be doing like cups, metal, or if you're going to be doing like thicker items. So if you're going to be doing cups and metal, both machines can do it. You can get what's called a 2 watt infrared laser head. The Vista is going to be a lot better for the metals in my opinion because it comes with this head right here, which is a lot easier to swap in and out. So it does have a 2 watt infrared option that can swap out. Just use these 2 screws, flip it down, take 4 screws out, put your new one in, and then you're good to go. With the Vision, however, you're going to have to take the 4 screws off the back of the laser head. You're going to have to take 2 screws out of the logic board, unplug both of those, plug the logic board back in with the new one that you swap out and make sure you don't lose the original part, and then swap that laser head back around. So if you're going to be doing strictly metal, the Vista is going to win on that just because of how easy it is to swap out the head, but the Vision is capable of doing it. So if you're not going to do it that often, the Vision does have a lot of beneficial options as well, which we're going to get to here in just a second. Now, as far as cups go, or tumblers, the Vista is going to be my preferred one in that as well, just because the rotary attachment is going to go right here. You have full access to the machine, and if you're on a higher desk like you are here with the Vision, you're going to have to reach all the way down in there, especially if you have it on the riser base like I do, because the rotary attachment is going to be all the way on that side. So that's one extra benefit. But like I said, you can get bigger items in this machine, so this is going to be capable of doing cups as well. So both of them are going to be capable of doing both of these items here, and it's going to strictly come down to your overall needs. So that's where we get to the last part here, is the thicker items. Thicker items are not going to do so well on this unless you get like a riser base or little wooden blocks to lift this machine up. And this machine here is going to do thicker items really well because you got this entire lift that it lifts up on. So if you plan on doing everything, then you're definitely going to want to get the Vision for sure. And the next question with that comes into play, do you want to do the 40 watt or the 20 watt model? They'll both do the exact same thing, but it may take extra cuts to cut thicker items on the 20 watt model. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to get the Vision, and you can spring a little bit extra money for it, I would just get the 40 watt model right off the bat. That way you can go ahead and cut those thicker items. You can engrave faster technically with different settings that are faster settings in that situation. But if you want to save a little bit of money, be able to do everything, you can definitely get the 20 watt model. Now you might have noticed this is sitting on the auto pass-through slot here. This auto pass-through slot is compatible with the Vision and the Vista, so you can use this with both. So don't think you're limited to that without the Vista here. So you can do that with the Vista as well. Now keep in mind the Vista is a 10 watt model, so it is going to cut slower. It's going to take a lot more time or more passes, just like the 20 watt versus the 40 watt. This is going to go even slower than that for cuts. Now, with that said, the other thing I want to point out between the two, the Vista here has a camera right up here on the inside lid. It takes a picture of the bed, and it causes less distortion that way whenever it's taken that way from the lid being open. The one downside to the Vista is it has an autofocus point with a single laser dot head here that hits the center. And when it hits the center point, you have to have your material in there and touching that laser head for it to autofocus properly. Now, the Vision itself takes a picture from within the lid, the center of the lid here, and it causes a slight fisheye effect, but it's still pretty accurate in my opinion. And you can do a camera calibration if it's not accurate. But the thing I like most about the Vision compared to the Vista is the autofocus is built into the laser head. So you can place your material anywhere in the machine, line up your image, and then that autofocus will rise down and take a capture of that autofocus point for you, and then rise back up based on where it needs to be. And then you'll do the engraving. So that's one benefit that I really like about the Vision over the Vista. So like I said, it's really going to come down to specifically what you want or what you're going to be making. So for cups and metal, like consistently, if that's what you're going to be doing, like small jewelry, metal business cards, the tumblers, I would probably do the Vista just because it's easier to get to, easier to swap out that laser head that I mentioned. If you're going to be doing thicker items or wood, I would definitely do the Vision if that's going to be your primary focus is wood or thicker items, because the Vision's 40 watt is going to be able to cut through that a lot faster and engrave a lot faster than what this 10 watt model is. Now, that is another question that comes up here. Is there going to be a 20 watt or a 40 watt head for the Vista? And the short answer is I think so. On their website, they do say more options coming in 2025. So whether that's the speculation of new laser heads of the 20 watt and 40 watt model, or just a different wattage in general, that we don't know. Or if it's just a whole new laser that's going to be a different version of Vista. My guess is yeah, they're going to probably release a 20 watt and a 40 watt laser head, but that's going to be all the way in 2025 according to their website. So if you want to go a higher power right now, then definitely do the Vision. Just save yourself some time so you can start engraving, selling items, those types of things. But with all that said, that would really come down to what you want, and hopefully I explained all of those options really well. Another question that I get pretty often about the Vista here is, can we buy just the 2 watt infrared with the machine? Right now, the short answer is no. If they release an option that you can buy the 2 watt infrared later, I'll let you guys know for sure. But right now, you have to get the 10 watt model and then the 2 watt infrared package with it if you want both laser heads. Or if you want just the 2 watt infrared, you're going to have the extra 10 watt diode laser. So just a heads up on that. Right now, that is not an option. I also wanted to address another thing about glass. Is another thing that I get a question on pretty often is, can these engrave glass, or for that matter, clear acrylic? Short answer, no, not really, but long answer is yes. Technically, you could trick the machines into engraving on them by painting it black, engraving, and then wiping that paint off. It's just a mess. It's honestly not worth it in my opinion. If you want to try it, you can, but it's just not going to produce the results you want. You're going to need a CO2 laser for that. Right now, WeCreat doesn't have that. Hopefully they have that in the works in the future, and I'll do a future video on that. But if you're going to be doing clear acrylic, these 2 machines probably aren't going to be for you. Just keep that in mind. But other than that, I hope I answered all of your guys' questions about these 2 machines. If you want to know more, let me know down in the comments below, or maybe I can make another video on it in the future for you. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.